What's the most satisfying case of instant karma you've witnessed? From the day he was born, my son Sam has struggled to feel normal because of his autism. He'd get picked on by kids at school, and even had some particularly nasty family members on my ex-wife's side tell him he was defective. But then he found ballet. It seems unconventional, but it was the one thing that made him forget that he was different and allowed him to express himself freely. People in the classes found it weird though, a single dad always hanging around ballet studios, but I never cared what they thought. All that mattered was seeing Sam light up whenever he danced. Things got exciting when Sam landed a spot at an up-and-coming ballet school. On paper, his teacher, Ms. Caldwell, had an impressive track record, but from day one, something felt off. I quickly noticed the sideways glances from other moms when they saw me, a dad taking a boy to class. They would whisper and stop abruptly whenever I approached. Ms. Caldwell herself never seemed entirely welcoming either, but Sam seemed happy, so I didn't pry. And initially, Sam was thriving. He talked to his classmates, nailed routines, and finally seemed comfortable in his skin. But pretty soon, I noticed changes. Sam started coming home anxious, quieter, and more withdrawn than even before ballet. He'd avoid my eyes when I asked how class went, and I caught him pacing and biting his nails more than usual. One evening after class, Sam quietly admitted that Ms. Caldwell had been especially tough on him. She was forcing him to perform choreography in front of the class that she hadn't fully taught him, deliberately humiliating him and breaking his spirit. She told him he wasn't a real dancer, constantly pushing him to the back and singling him out in front of everyone. When I went to talk to Caldwell, things escalated even further. I overheard her gossiping with a group of mothers, suggesting Sam was weird, unsettling, and that there was something off about us being at the studio. I confronted her directly, but she dismissed my concerns sharply, telling me I was overreacting and that boys shouldn't even be here in the first place. Soon after, the girls in Sam's class started making strange comments, loudly saying he needed to stop looking at them like that, whispering loudly that he made them uncomfortable. Ms. Caldwell responded by isolating Sam further, setting up an extra mirror away from the main group, forcing him to practice alone where he couldn't see the other dancers clearly. When I tried confiding in a few of the moms afterward, hoping they'd understand since Sam was just a child, they gaslit me instead. They insisted that having a separate mirror was totally normal practice, especially given he was a boy, and even suggested Sam should feel lucky to be allowed to train alongside their daughters. Everything changed after Sam attended an external dance workshop. A scout from a prestigious ballet academy happened to be there and was impressed by Sam's talent. He approached us afterward and asked if Sam would be interested in auditioning. Wanting Sam to feel comfortable, we arranged for the audition to happen at his usual studio. On the audition day, I dropped Sam off and lingered nearby, feeling anxious for him. I waited outside for a full hour until he finally came out, and when he did, my heart broke. Sam seemed shaken, and when he got in the car, he started bawling his eyes out. He told me he blew it. He had messed it up. I tried to cheer him up, but there was nothing I could seemingly do. For the next few days, he would barely look at me. Every time I tried to bring ballet up, he'd shut it down. But then something happened. My phone rang 3 days after his audition. It was Ms. Caldwell. Her voice was shaking, and she asked Sam to come back to class. I was confused, especially given how she had always treated him. I approached Sam again, telling him she just called, and that's when he broke down. He confessed everything. Ms. Caldwell had pulled him aside into a secluded corner just before the audition. She then harshly berated him, telling him he didn't belong, and that auditioning would only embarrass her studio, and it's because of that he performed so poorly. I felt outraged. I went right onto my computer and into my emails. I was about to send her the nastiest email of my life. That's when I saw it. There was an email from a few hours ago I hadn't read yet. It wasn't from Ms. Caldwell though, but rather the academy judge who saw Sam's audition. I clicked into it, and he started off by apologizing. He said he had seen himself how Ms. Caldwell had treated Sam. I kept reading, and he told me that not only had he reported her unethical behavior, but he had also reached out to previous male students of her studio and realized she had crushed many boys' dreams. And so, he took it upon himself to blacklist her until she made amends. On top of everything, he was also awarding Sam a full scholarship to the ballet academy. I couldn't believe it. Reading that email, it dawned on me that this was the reason Ms. Caldwell was calling me earlier. I immediately told Sam about the email, and I watched his entire mood change in one sentence. He looked happier than I'd seen him in months. Sam is now at that ballet academy. He's doing well, and Ms. Caldwell's studio is still shut down.